welcome to my 5 keys for Ohio State victory this Saturday against Penn State in the shoe edition of the OHIO podcast. You all know the drill by now. Make sure you like, make sure you're subscribed, and please consider giving a comment down in the comment section below. What is one of your keys to victory in this Saturday's game? And don't say score more points. We all know that. Although it's very funny, and I will chuckle. Okay, I guess if you want to, go ahead. All right, I wrote down some notes. I was thinking about this game. We've done the game preview. We've talked to the experts. We've listened to everybody else's comments. We've talked to our sister podcast from over at the Nittany Blues podcast to get their ideas of this game. There seems to be some underlining storylines in this. Does Brian Hartline leave Ohio State for Penn State? Is he fully focused on this game? I think he is. There's no reason to doubt Brian Hartline at this point. All of the speculation and rumors about Brian Hartline being the next coach at Penn State, is it all for naught? Is it just fan fodder talk? Has there really been anything beyond maybe the possibility of Brian Hartline's agent, putting some feelers out there, or vice versa from Penn State? Obviously, I think that Penn State is interested in talking to Brian Hartline. They'd be foolish not to. He has zero experience head coaching. I don't think Penn State's the type of place you throw someone in to the frying pan who has not been in the fire before. However, it worked out for Ohio State with Ryan Day, albeit 6 years later, but it did work out for them as far as winning a national championship. Can Brian Hartline do something similar in Happy Valley? There's that storyline. You have a team who is a wounded dog, man. This is a team that going into the season, this was one of the big games you had circled on the schedule for Ohio State. Texas, Washington, Penn State, and the team up north. Successfully beat Texas, successfully went on the road and beat Washington. Illinois was another one some of us had circled. I thought that was actually going to probably be the toughest game for Ohio State, to be completely 100% completely honest. But Illinois is not the Illinois we thought they were. Now they're sitting at what 5-3, I think, and out of the playoffs picture, out of the top 25. So X that one out. Penn State still has a great roster, just like Ryan Day said. They have a lot of pride. James Franklin's gone. They're in an epic skid of all-time proportion that saw him leave the program after 3 consecutive losses. Oregon, UCLA, and then Northwestern. They then back that up with the interim coach in his first start, losing on the road at Iowa. They get 2 weeks to regroup. Now they come back into Ohio Stadium. Can they lose their 5th in a row? It'd be the first time since 2020. The COVID year, Penn State started out 0-5, but that's the COVID year. You throw that out. The last time you'd have to go find Penn State losing 5 games, I don't know when. It has to be before Joe Paterno was there. Like, this is just a losing streak of epic proportion. They lose this week, and then they have Indiana next week. They're staring 6 straight losses in a row with a team that some thought could win a national championship. So you have the whole wounded dog, storyline here. What kind of uh, motivation will Penn State have to rectify whatever part of their season they have left? A lot of these players, high 4-star recruits, high 3-star recruits. These are good players who believe they have NFL futures, and they're not going to want to finish out their careers at Penn State on some kind of epic losing streak that's kind of tarnish the potential that they have. And some of the other players who won't be going to the NFL, who have eligibility left, they're going to want to put good film out there for everybody so that when they enter the transfer portal, if they don't like the coach that comes in next year, they're going to be able to go to another good school that says, hey, we can use you as a starting piece for 2026. And so there's that motivation for things. Then there's the Jim Knowles factor, right? You've got Jim Knowles returning to Ohio State. It's obvious that Ryan Day wants a pound of flesh from Jim Knowles. And I would say some of these defensive players at Ohio State, they want that pound of flesh from Knowles as well. So there's all these little storylines with this this game this week, beyond the fact that Ohio State is a 20.5 point favorite in this game, which is astronomical for this rivalry. But that just shows you how far Penn State has dropped down. And how could I forget Grunkenmeyer, man? The redshirt freshman quarterback from Olentangy, just in the north of the shoe here in Delaware County, returning home basically, getting his second start and going to be starting in the shoe, a place that he grew up rooting for Ohio State as a kid. 5 keys of victory. Here we go. After all of that long storyline, I guess you could say, review. Number one, score first. Whenever you have a team like Penn State who has been going through the troubles and trials of a losing skid, you do not want to give them hope. You do not want to give them belief. You do not want them to find momentum. You want to put them down and put them down early. This is a team who obviously has a very fragile um, confidence level. And if you can shake that confidence, whatever confidence they got during the bye week and at practice this week, if you can break that early, they will crumble, they will fold, they will fall. So you want to score first. Whether that means you get the ball first and you march down the field and you put 7 up, or you get off the field defensively and you give the football to your offense, who then turns that into 7 points, whatever. Score first. My second key, that was my first key. My second key is success on first down. And this is all about third down. If you want to be successful on third down, you have to learn how to be successful on first down. Staying ahead of the chains, as Ryan Day calls it. Defensively, Ohio State is getting off the field on third downs at a clip of 21.1% of the time. Sorry, it's actually reversed that. 70, what would that be? 78.9. Their success rate defensively is really, really good. So opponents are only converting on 21.1% of their third downs. That's the best way to put that. While Penn State's opponents are converting on 40.2% of the time. Now reverse that and you look at offensively. Ohio State's third down success rate on offense is 52.7%, while Penn State's is at 41.4%. So, Ohio State successfully on third down, both offensively and defensively, is much better than Penn State, especially on defense. And so, when you look at those statistics, it goes back to first down. So, success on first down. If we can be more successful on first down than Penn State, I think that that is a major statistic to keep your eye on for how this game is going to go. If Penn State is going to keep this thing close and have a chance, they have to be much more successful than Ohio State is on first down, because that will equate to third down success. Hope that makes sense. Number 3, for Ohio State, they need to take care of the football. One statistical category that Penn State is actually beating Ohio State in this year are turnovers, takeaways on defense. Penn State is averaging 1.3 takeaways per game. Ohio State, which wasn't taking the ball away much at all at the beginning of the year, has gotten that up to 1.0, or 1 a game. They've gotten 7 turnovers through 7 games, where Penn State is at 1.3. They got like 10 or 11 or something like that. So they are slightly more successful at taking the football away than Ohio State. If the Buckeyes can take care of the football and not give Penn State easier offensive possessions through a silly turnover, it's going to force Penn State to have to drive the football and be more successful offensively with a second game starting quarterback. So, taking care of the football for Ohio State on offense is paramount. They've done a great job of this year. Early on, there was a couple turnovers. I think Ohio won against a Grambling that didn't amount to anything, but a couple against Ohio. They kept the Bobcats in the game for the first half. So obviously, you're going to want to take care of the football in a game like this. Again, Penn State is going to need things like turnovers, being better on third down conversions, things like that to stay in this football game. So don't beat yourself, essentially. Key number 4, you've got to make Ethan Grunkmeyer uncomfortable in the pocket. I'm sure Ethan is a great kid. Never met him. Know his parents through relationships. Rooting for the kid. He's an Ohio high school kid. Rooting for him to have great success in the next couple years, and even in for the remainder of this season. I hope he is awesome for Penn State, and that they feel they have a future starting quarterback from the Central Ohio kid. But not this Saturday, Bob. Not this Saturday. This Saturday is all about the Buckeyes making you feel incredibly uncomfortable in the pocket and wish you weren't the starting quarterback at Penn State this Saturday. So make him very uncomfortable. I think they could force him into making some really bad mistakes, and if they do that, ball game, Ohio State wins. And then key number 5 is to stop the run. Another statistic that Penn State is beating Ohio State in, and it shouldn't be surprising to anybody, is they are rushing the football at a clip of almost 20 yards more than us per game. We haven't been great at running the football through the first 7 games. No, that's not some kind of hot take. That's just fact. And Penn State's terrible at throwing the football because they don't have any receivers. Their best athletes are their dual threat at running back, obviously. So it goes without saying they're going to run the football. They need to have a tremendous success rate of running the football. And if Ohio State can force them to have to throw the football, Ohio State's going to win this game, and they're going to win it big. Penn State has to have success running the football. So if we can stop the run, ball game. Take care of the football, success on third down, stop the run. Ohio State's going to win this thing easily. Penn State needs to have a tremendous success on first down, a high production and success rate on third down. They need to be able to run and take big chunks when they run the football. They need to keep Grunkmeyer upright. They're going to need to win the turnover battle. These are all the checklists that they have to do to keep the game close. They do all of those things. There's going to be a battle into the fourth quarter, and Ohio State fans are going to be wondering what the heck happened. But if what has gone on the last 4 weeks for Penn State continues to go on here, and Ohio State is Ohio State that we've seen through the first 7 games, then Ohio State's going to pull away from this team and win this game pretty easily in the end. I think Ohio State's better coached. I think they have better athletes. All of it lines up for Ohio State to win big if we just keep doing the same thing. Plus, I think Julian Sain is in a Heisman race here. This is a big opportunity for him to really shine, put up some huge numbers, because I think the next three games, but going into the last game in November, are all very easily winnable games for the Buckeyes. And I think they're going to have an opportunity to pad his stats the next 3 weeks after this week. But if he can have a great game against Penn State on national television in front of the national viewing audience, it's going to really help him in this Heisman Trophy race that we are in. Those are my keys to victory, my 5 keys to victory for Ohio State tomorrow afternoon, high noon in the shoe. Let me know what one of your keys is. Is it just score more points? Really? Is that your key? All right, you can put that in the comments section below if you want to make me laugh. Have a great Friday, everybody. Make sure you're subscribed to our Patreon channel. It is the #1 way you can help support us here at the OHIO podcast. We really do appreciate each and every single one of you who have chosen to do that. It only costs $5 a month to get a ton, and I mean a ton of extra content. We're talking members only videos. We're talking insider information on the chat boards. We're talking Buck Vader's blog. We're talking Mika's new podcast, The Illuminati. We're talking TG's rundown of Buckeyes in the NFL. We're talking future exclusive interviews with former Buckeyes, watching the games they played in with them. We're talking game watches. Ohio State versus Penn State tomorrow, high noon, over on Patreon. Your cable providers being a butthole, no worries. Subscribe to Patreon. Watch the game with us, everybody. We'll be back. We've got, I think we got a funny video for you this evening for the game, a little game theme song video for you. We'll be hanging out on Patreon this evening, just having a good old time over on Patreon, more than likely, hanging out with everybody, watching the Friday evening games. Ohio high school playoffs start tonight, I believe it is. So there's that going on. We've got recruiting news that's going to be coming your way. So much and more right here at the OHIO podcast. Make sure you go check out our website as well, theohiopodcast.com. Read great articles, find the links you need, all of that over there. Go check us out on the socials, Facebook, X, that's where we're most active. Go check out our social media content as well. We post graphics and pictures and links all day long, every day over on our social media as well. So much going on here at the OHIO podcast. We appreciate it if you come and be a part of it with us. Till next time, be kind one another. I owe someone's OH. In Carmen, Ohio, with all your heart, you all know what to do. Till next time, go Bucks.